Biddly, 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 but yes, yo. Here we go. There ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. You know what time it is. Time for the clout chaser to arrive. The clock watchers will be in and on and over here. Keep liking the videos, guys. If you can subscribe to the channel, it's much appreciated. It all helps. We had the first day of the new job today. It went swell, very well, swell. So thank you very much for everybody that gave me that booster package. Got some shout outs to do. Shout out to Mark Bradley. Shout out to Ming. Shout out to MVG and Mark Newell. And shout out to BMG for no reason at all. Shout out to Mark Bradley, Ming, MVG, Mark Newell, and BMG for no reason at all. What's good, brother? I'm about to kick to the punch. Good hooker. We are a week out before the Everton game now. Panic is starting to set in among the fan base due to the fact that we don't have any movements. Whether or not we will be ready will be something to behold. Will Bamford turn up like Chris Eubanks Sr.? Like, he's here! Just saw Danny, my manager from the charity game, posted that on Twitter, which I found very comical. I don't think that's the reality. Even I think once Farke said that he's got no future, I think that is the case. He's apparently been doing half marathons and all sorts as Bamford. He's been playing for under 21, so he's not shirking any responsibility. He's still trying to stay fit. He maybe sees a way back in. Who knows? I'll tell you somebody that does have a way back in. My man Jack Harrison. So I want to discuss. I said in my live at the time when he was getting booed, I honestly think it's bordering on a disgrace. I'll put in the title, the reaction is a disgrace. I'm not sure it's a full-blown disgrace. I don't really care, but ultimately he will be here next week. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think there's any doubt at this stage that he'll be playing. Whether or not he starts the game, he's not going to be starting, you wouldn't imagine, but coming off at bench as a left back, as a backup left back, I should say, and as a left winger, I just don't really know what else you're going to get for in and around the price bracket. If we'd have signed him without his history at the club, I don't think anybody would have really begrudged that move. Just thought he's a solid Premier League footballer. He was one of the only players that was able to play in the Premier League that when we went down and teams actually wanted him. Whether or not you think he performed for Everton or not, it's irrelevant. Moyes thought decent of him. He's always every manager we've had's always thought decent of him. The reaction to boo him is what it is. It's fine for me the first time. If you want to have your fun with it, get him booed. And then once it's done, it's done. But to continuously boo the player, and I'm not even going down because people are saying, oh, because he's got the white shirt and you can't boo him. It's like, no, I'm not necessarily saying that either. You can do whatever you want, can't you? But just in my opinion, I don't think it's very good for us going into the new season when you're booing one of your players that's probably going to play significantly more minutes than you'd like, and you're all going to stop booing him eventually anyway. And then when it does, and I've got to say, when he came on, he puts himself about. He's fast, he's sharp. He always, he's full of spunk, full of fitness. He's overlapping. I don't know. I think for instance, Schmidt, who was on ball, who was absolutely ghastly. Nobody really has a bad word to say other than just a bit of a laugh about him on Twitter. It's funny with Schmidt in it and just saying we've got a real problem at right back. I mean, people are saying they'd rather Jack Harrison be playing at right back than Schmidt. And, he's very left-footed, Jack Harrison, but there is half an argument for that, isn't he? I don't think it does his confidence any good. He also, Joe informs me, because I didn't see that because I went live straight away, that he did a full lap of honour. Not a lap of honour, but he went all the way around the Leeds fans, like clapping and applauding them and stuff. So I think he's got the minerals for it. I think he'll be all right. And Farke came out and spoke really quite well about him. He has done a few times now. He said it's natural for the boos and stuff, and it is what it is. Nonto did it. Aronson, Double A, Ronson came back. He got away with it. Who else for there? I think there's another one. We just get over it in the end, don't we? It's like you just got to get over these little blips. And ultimately, Jack Harrison will be here on Monday, and I think he'll play a lot more than we anticipate because I think he is a reliable player for the club. I'm here for it. If we get a couple of wingers in before the window closes, which is looking more and more unlikely, then he gets pushed down the pecking order, and then we try to probably force him out. But right now, I think Farke likes him. He works hard. Sometimes you just need players that are going to do a job for you. And whether you like it or not, his delivery is not always excellent, and his shots aren't always on target and all the rest of it. But whether you like it or not, he has the odd game where he's on absolute fire. And that is worth its weight in gold, isn't it? If he does that once or twice this season and gets us 2 wins this season, it'll be invaluable. He's the type of player that can do that. Long range, whip a ball in, works hard, whatever. Muniz is still apparently our top target. I think we're going to end up with Calvert-Lewin. My man Just Joe's been on Twitter all over it, saying that Calvert-Lewin's on his way. The odds have been slashed for him to come. He's obviously a free agent looking for a club. Kilimuondo, we spoke about his schedule a while back, didn't we? I think it was in the Marsh era when we apparently had a bid in for him, 17 million or something. Newcastle and Brentford are apparently after him, and he's apparently turned a Leeds move down. But there's also reports saying that we never really made a solid approach for him. So, and we've been focusing elsewhere. So, with Muniz and, we've had all sorts of nonsense floating about, haven't we, about Mitrovic and stuff, which has gone quiet. Probably end up with Bamford, as we say. El Kunas is now garnering interest from Newcastle. So, obviously, Newcastle and Brentford are in for Kilimanjaro, who's an apparent target. Now, Newcastle are garnering after this El Kunas fella. But Newcastle are struggling somewhat in the window, aren't we? So maybe we can be the ones that pip them to the post. Lol. I can't see that happening. I think Newcastle will be obviously an excellent move for the lad. But having said that, he's not going to be guaranteed minutes. And if he's got all about him, he probably thinks he can get closer to our side than he can Newcastle's. But they are struggling for players. So ultimately, they might be bringing him in. James McAtee is now edging towards a move for Nottingham Forest. We've obviously allegedly been in for him. Whether or not we were seriously in for him at any point in pre-season remains to be seen also. 20 European clubs apparently are in for him. Whether or not that's true, it's the Man City effect out there. They're very good at getting young players to play a few games for Pep Guardiola, look decent in a top side, score a couple of goals, and then they're shipped out for, dummy money, really, silly money. Personal terms apparently have been fully agreed with James McAtee and Nottingham Forest, so that's obviously a bit of a burn. I still think they'll drop right off with Nottingham Forest. I think they might be on end of a reality shock, which is quite a funny thing to say when everybody believes that we'll be on end of a reality shock, but I don't think we're in reality shock territory at the moment. I think everybody's, still saying that they'll take 17th, but as I've said, I'm telling you now, if you go for 17th, everything will change. And I know we've got the Farker out brigade, but if we're in and around 17th, the club will be put under a lot of pressure to get rid of Farker. So they're not playing for 17th. They're playing for 15th. Aim for 11th, finish 15th. I'll finish 10th. There's also, I just don't want to go up and just be like that as a team. I want to go into Everton game, think we can get a win. I want to go into Arsenal game and think we can pick up a point, pick up a draw, not just get thumped and go, well, it's Arsenal, isn't it? It's like, no, we're Leeds United, we rule supreme, we'll never be mastered, and all the rest of it. Obviously, when James McAtee and El Kunas and Kilimanjaro and Muniz and Calvert-Lewin and all these things start, well, not Calvert-Lewin necessarily falling through, but when it falls through, it then leads to all the usual lazy links. So then we're on about, lazy links sounds like a Sunday morning aftershave, doesn't it? That'd be quite a good one, wouldn't it? Like, when you've had your lazy links, it's like, oh, get your lazy links. I'm getting in the shower with your lazy links. Let's have a lazy day. Go get in the shower and get your lazy links on. That'd be quite good for kids as well, wouldn't it? Go lather yourself up in some lazy links and relax. Heartbeats on in 10 minutes. Usual lazy leaks leading. So Gus Hamer, Buendia start coming back up and all this stuff. It's becoming a bit exhausting, isn't it? I just want to see where we're at come Everton. And obviously we've got so much to do within a week, really, because you want them in before Everton. But ultimately, any player we're getting now is not going to play against Everton either. We might see him for 5 minutes at end of game, but they're going to have to work their way into the side somewhat out there. I think Farker's going to have to pick his side now it's shit or bust for him, really, going into Monday. But I'm still not down about it. It's just, it's hard when you're online and there's a lot of stuff floating about saying, and you just want silence and just absolute silence. So it's like the immovable object of Farker hopefully can rouse the players. I've said before, I said it on Joe's show as well, that we need to be competitive even with this current side that we have. So whether or not we bring in a top winger or a top striker or whatever will obviously help and bolster us going forward into the season when the going gets tough. But we need to be super competitive as it is now. Stack, Longstaff, Tanaka, Gruev, Ampadu all look really good in that middle three. Nonto, I think, is going to cook. People talking about Ramazani should be starting. I think it'll be James, Nonto, and Peru going into the first game of the season now. With Mecha coming on, Mecha getting a fair old whack of it, at least 30 minutes. Same way, whatever middle three he goes with. I think he'll go with Longstaff, Stack, and Ampadu. But I think Tanaka gets a full 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I think he will make them changes a little bit earlier because I think the squad depth is far better. Hopefully Bogle's back. There's loads of talks that he's hoping to be back for Everton, so that would be a massive. I don't think he'll risk him. If it's to be a risk. I don't, because it's too risky going forward, isn't it? But we certainly need something a bit better than Schmidt. Don't know whether he's trying to make a point with Schmidt playing him right back, 2 games on bounce and watching him get chopped up, but. Yeah, it wasn't great viewing, were it? But everybody, keep liking, keep subscribing. There'll be another shit vid tomorrow. And we'll go live every now and again like nobody do it how we does it. You know this by now. If you don't know by now, you never knew. Peace. Yes.
Boom.